Good morning, everyone. This is Nat from Nat's Creations, and we're back for another video. Today we are going to cover node editing on vector files, and I've seen in a few forums and chat rooms where people are always asking about how to modify and adjust things on files that they have, either something they bought or something that they made didn't come out right. They either did like in Adobe Illustrator or something like that, so we're just going to go over that today. I am using Lightburn software I use. I like it. It's not a paid endorsement or anything, but it is a good software. You should look at their free trial, give it a try, and see what you think. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to start off on making a star, and I'm going to go over here to my Create a Polygon feature, and holding down the Shift button, I'm going to draw out a polygon. And the Shift button, by holding it down, it makes it more or less symmetrical. It keeps it in a nice uniform shape while I'm doing it. I'm going to make it a 5-sided. So I have a pentagram, and then I am going to flip this over so that we can draw with it. And from there, I'm going to go to the pencil, and I'm going to start drawing out my lines for my star. And this is how I usually go about making my stars. If I have to make any, I just go down and draw, and I have my program set up to where it will snap to the nearest grid line, corner, things like that. Makes it a little bit easier to do, a lot more consistent as I'm doing it. And then come up here and there. Everything is connected. I have my star. I'm good to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my node edit function. This is a little thing right here. It says edit nodes, and then it gives you a little rundown of what everything does. I'm going to click on that, and the two main features I'm going to use out of this today are I on the keyboard for insert and D for delete. And I'm going to start down here. I'm going to highlight this. It's all going to come out as one item because it's all connected at the moment, and I'm going to start breaking it apart. So I'll insert a node, and then I'll hit B for break, which breaks it up, and you can see where I've broken it right there. I'm going to put that right back together real quick, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to do it again. Very close. I'm going to insert, and I'm going to break. And then now my node, or this line, is broken, right? Well, I joined it back up here by accident. So if I click on that, I have a bunch of lines in here that are now broken. I can come in here, I can do an insert, and I can do a break. And if I click on that line, I have another one that is insert and break. And I can break this one on out. Good to go. And then I can come over here. I can do the same thing. I'm just going to do each of these at one time. Insert, break, and I can remove each section as I do it. And come over here, do this one. Insert, break. Click on my line here, do insert and break, and I'm going to have to do one more down here. Insert and break. And I can delete that. And give me 1 second here. Alright. So now I got to break up the rest of this, so I have to do another insert and break. And then I'm going to do one over here. This is also an insert and break. I can remove that section, and I can remove that section. And that leaves me with a star. Now I have to join everything. So if I highlight this first section and I hold my control button down on the keyboard and click this other one, I can hit Alt-J and hit join, and go around this file doing the same thing until I get everything joined up. And once everything is joined up, now I have a complete star. And if I go over here into my cut layers tab and hit fill, I can see that everything is joined because it filled in when I did it. And if I do this right here, get rid of my pentagram and go back into fill, it fills in my star, so it's all connected. Alright, so that's kind of a rough down and dirty on how to do some modifications. There are some other things that you can do. This is just breaking apart lines. You can always insert a node if you know where you want to break a line at. You can insert one and then hit the break button. It'll split that line in half, and I can give you a demonstration here on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a node and then break it, and then if I take it, you'll see that it's now broke. And if I go back into fill, it doesn't fill because my object is broken. But then I can come down here and I can join it back up, and if I go into fill, it fills it back in, right? Well, I don't need this particular node, so I can just hit the D button on my keypad, which will delete that node. Don't hit delete, because if you hit delete, it gets rid of the whole object itself. Alright, so now that that's done, let's see some different modifications that we can do to this star if we so choose. I can go back into my node function, and if I were just to grab this line like right in the middle and start moving it around, you'll see that it gives me some little pull tabs there, and it's so that I can adjust these arcs. And basically all I'm doing at this point is just kind of playing around, but giving you an example of how you can go about changing your files as you need them. And we'll say that that's probably a little big. And we're going to do the same thing here. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And over here. Now I've got something that kind of looks like a little flower, right? Kind of looks good. It's not too bad. Other things that I can do now, you'll see that these nodes all have the little pull strings on them, so I can either lengthen it or I can shorten it. I'm just going to hit my back button here. Another thing that I can do for this is if I can hover over this one and I hit the S button. Well, the S button smooths it out. It gives it a more rounded appearance. I can do the same thing there. You see how much that changes that up. I don't really like that. We're just playing around at this moment, but so you can see how everything interacts with each other. We'll go around and do all of these nodes just like so. You see how all those are. We can click off of it and see how it is. We still have a little flower here. Alright. Let's make a duplicate of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this down by 50%. And I could put that like right in the middle, or I can go around like that. Kind of try to find a good way to go in there. Let's make this 50% again. Make it just a little bit smaller. Like so. Now, then I can go in here and fill, and just playing around. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you edit nodes, edit lines, go about fixing your vector files as need be. That way you don't have to pay somebody else to do it for you. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing to know. I recommend you get into it if you can. Lightburn software is fairly inexpensive. Be well worth the investment into it if you don't already have it. Alright, so if you don't have any questions, which I'm sure you might, and since this isn't a live stream, leave your questions in the comments below and I'll answer them and get back to you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day.